Welcome back to Life with the Spectrum. I'm your host, Gina Cavalli, and it's important for our kids to stay active, right? I mean, you want them to eat well, you want them to get some exercise, especially in the world of screen time, which we all are living in and are guilty of. It's important to get them out of the house doing adaptive soccer, basketball, baseball, or in this instance, adaptive tennis. Please welcome to the show, Jim Hamm, Executive Director of Special Pops Tennis. Hi, Jim. How you doing?
I'm doing really well. How are you doing, Gina?
Thank you so much for being here. As I said in my opening, it's important for all children to stay active, especially those with special needs, and teaching them the healthy habits. How long has Special Pops Tennis been around?
We organized in 2005.
Okay.
And in the Metro Atlanta area. And we started out with just a couple of locations serving a few athletes, and now we have 18 locations serving over 600 athletes.
Wow. Now, are these all around the Metro, South Side, North Side, East, and West too?
Correct.
Well,
yeah.
What are the benefits of playing tennis, in your opinion?
Well, certainly it's been shown to be a lifetime sport, so it's not age sensitive. And it also shows that there are several other benefits, like it's shown that as a sports activity, that tennis players typically live to be 9+ years longer than the other sports active people. So longer life, healthier life. And the tennis people truly understand that the best athlete is not necessarily the best tennis player, it's the best problem solver. And so by having to be a problem solver, so that if your opponent is doing one thing, what do you do to solve that? That keeps their mind active. And by keeping their mind active, it's shown that that's also healthier from a cognitive standpoint, which is the disability we work with.
Now, you just had a big event come through. Care to share what that was all about? Because isn't it an annual event?
It is an annual event, and it's coming up this weekend.
Oh, it's this weekend.
This weekend. We'll see you there, right?
What is it? Tell me about it.
It's what we call the Fall Classic, and it's in Peachtree Corners for those familiar with the Atlanta area. That's in the North Atlanta area. And we'll play tennis for 3 days there. We'll have them lodged in the local hotels, and they'll spend that time in the hotels engaged in certain social activities like a dinner dance. Another night is a dinner and karaoke. So it's our motto is play tennis, make friends, live life. And that's what we want to do. We want to certainly play tennis, but we want them to have a richer life as a result of being a part of the adaptive tennis experience.
So these are athletes from all over Georgia, or are these athletes also coming from other markets, other states as well?
They will come from other states as well. It'll be 125, 130 athletes from 10 different states. And,
wow.
And this is for the athletes that are ready for what we call match play tennis, which tennis players understand. But there is the entry level to where the balls are not match play. It's just they're fed balls and they score points based on where they. And so those athletes, we have other events for them. But this is just the match play ready athletes.
Well, that certainly sounds like fun, Jim. And today is the last day for everyone to get out there and show their support and also learn a little bit more about Special
Correct.
Pops Tennis. With me today, Jim Hamm, the Executive Director of Special Pops Tennis. When we get back, we're going to find out what your kid needs to bring to the courts and everything in between. Stay with me. Welcome back to Life with the Spectrum. I'm your host, Gina Cavalli. Thanks so much for taking the time with me today. Jim Hamm, very busy this weekend with this big event at Special Pops Tennis. Jim, how can people, where they need to come to Peachtree Corners today?
Yes. This would be the final day, and it's in Peachtree Corners at 6350 Courtside Drive. And we'd love to see you there because there's a lot of myths that come with this because of the individuals that are defined as having disabilities. But what we're able to realize by working with this population is they really, there's just two things that set them apart from the general population is they learn differently and they have special gifts that you don't know what they are because they'll differ just like people themselves differ from person to person. But we we find that the word special is certainly uh, defines this group, but there's not necessarily special needs. They're just special people.
I agree. I think they have abilities within their disabilities, and I think they have superpowers to the nth degree. Jim, answer me this. When a child is interested, when parents are interested in coming to Special Pops with 18 different locations running all over the metro, what do kids need to bring with them on their first experience? Do they have to have a tennis racket? Do they have to have, like, what do they wear? What do they need to bring?
The only thing we require for them to come prepared to be on the tennis court, so they need to have court appropriate shoes. The footwear is important. But as far as tennis rackets and things, in Atlanta, we recognize that Atlanta has the largest tennis playing population in the world.
Oh.
And we also find that tennis players are very generous with their time and their resources. So we're able to give that athlete if they need it. Now, sometimes they don't want it because it's not the right color, but and so their parents may buy it themselves. But if they don't have one, don't let that stop you from coming. Come on out, and we will put a racket in their hands.
And Jim, are these everyday kind of practices and matches throughout the metro, or is there a given day? How do people kind of look at the calendar and pick and choose when they can bring their child out?
Well, we have the 18 locations that you mentioned, and the 18 locations, you can go to more than one location. Some parents are very supportive and take their child to 4 or 5 of those locations during the course of the week, because each session is going to be about an hour, hour and a half, depending on the location during that week. And certain days of the week set up better for the family calendar than others. So they select what locations, and we do ask that you select it ahead of time and let us know, because that allows us to be properly prepared with the number of volunteers, and that it becomes a successful session for not only your child but the other athletes that come out and get involved.
And how can people find you? Where do they find you? Online? Are you on socials?
We have both the Facebook, Special Pops Tennis, and we have Instagram, and also a website, specialpopstennis.org.
Jim, what does POP stand for?
It's Special Populations Tennis Program. And
I love it.
POPS is short for population.
Jim, are there any final words you want to leave our viewers with about staying active and healthy?
I'll just quickly point out the fact that if your child plays other sports and you think they may be interested in tennis, but not necessarily competing, bring them out, because you'll find that in our program, they'll make some new friends, and that gets them off the sofa for another hour, hour and a half each week, and keeps them even more active, because we don't discriminate as far as which sport you play and so forth. We want them to be active and healthy.
Well, I can't thank you enough for being out there, being a force for good. Jim Hamm, the executive director with Special Pops Tennis. Get to that match today.
There you go. See you there. See you on the courts.
I guess I better get my racket and head to Peachtree Corners. The matches start at 10 a.m. This is the final day, like Jim said. 130, 140 athletes in here from 10 different states. How awesome is that? You know, it's important to keep our kids moving forward, right? And starting those healthy habits when they're young transitions them as they grow older. They're eating well. They're staying active. It's good for the mind, body, and spirit. And that's something we all strive to keep connected, right? So make sure you look into Special Pops Tennis. Maybe you take your son or daughter there and see if they want to be involved with tennis. I think Lyric would actually be really good at tennis, so I might have to bring him. There's fall and spring sessions, so hit up their website. You can hit up my website too. If there's somebody in your community that I need to be speaking with, somebody making a big difference and is a force for good, please reach out to gcast.com. That's GKASTS.com. So maybe I can chat with them and book them for a future episode of Life with the Spectrum. Till next time, see ya. Bye.